West TV, tazama ilivyo.
Good morning, my viewers, the parents, the teachers, and students as well. It's another Saturday for Easy Numbers. I want to wish you the best Easter as we begin the week of Easter. Now, today, I'll again go to the verse in the Bible. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. And that verse is so pregnant with meaning that I cannot miss to talk about it today. Many of us find mathematics very, very difficult. And I've had phone calls from all over the country. Parents complaining, my daughter can't do maths, my son can't do maths, and so on. Really, is maths such a menace? Is it such a scare? And I say it isn't. Maths is fun, maths is play, maths is joy. It is the methods that we use to teach our mathematics that are difficult. And many of our books have very, very good mathematical problems and they teach maths very well. But there is a missing link. The operations, the multiplying, the adding, the dividing, and the subtracting, this one is missing in our books. The methods they teach will not make you a mathematician. Instead, I say, understand the relationship between one number and another. Understand the operations between one number and another. When this number is in multiplications, how does it behave? When this number is in division, how does it behave? How does it behave in additions and so on? Then you will have eliminated your problem. What will have remained is just see the problem, dig out the numbers in it, dig out the formula that may be in there, convert the formula into numbers, crush the numbers, and move on. So today I'm singling out these numbers of a special combination. The numbers whose left is the same and the right adds to 10. There are so many numbers in mathematics with that combination. Let us see if we can get to them. I'm talking about numbers like, if I have 96, then I have 94. In multiplications. Numbers whose left is the same, 9. Numbers whose right adds to 10, 6 and 4 are numbers that add to 10. I'm talking about numbers like 83 and 87. Numbers whose left is the same, 8, and numbers whose right are such numbers that add to 10. Then I'm talking about numbers that are 54, 54 and 56. When you look at these numbers, again you see their left is the same and their right adds to 10. You can go on forever. Numbers like 28 and 22. You can go on forever. And all these numbers can be multiplied mentally. Only if you know what to do about them. Numbers whose left is the same and the right adds to 10. So let's take the first number, 83 by 87. Usually when you find numbers whose left is the same and the right adds to 10, you've seen your bread and butter. Just add 1 to one of the tens digits and multiply the result by the remaining tens digit. While on the right you just multiply as usual. So let's go to this one. 83 by 87. You check it, it's left same, right adding to 10. Add 1 to 8 to make it a 9 and multiply that by the remaining 8. So in your mind you're saying 9 times 8 is 72. That's the beginning of your answer. On the right, multiply as usual. 3 times 7 is 21. And so your answer of 83 times 87 is 72, 21. Let's look at 96 times 94. Add 1 to 9 to make it a 10 and multiply that 10 by the remaining 9. So in your mind you are saying 10 times 9 is 90. And then on the right, multiply as usual 6 times 4, which is 24. And so your answer of 96 times 94 is 9024. It's a question of adding 1 to one of the tens digits and multiplying the result by the remaining tens digits. And then it is multiplying the numbers on the right as usual. When you come to 54 times 56, and don't worry if it's not very clear, my director here might do something about it and it becomes okay. 54 times 56, just add 1 to 5 to make it 6 and multiply that 6 by the remaining 5 so that you have 6 times 5 will give me 30. That's the beginning of my answer. On the right hand side, multiply the ones digits as usual. 6 times 4 is 24. And therefore 54 by 56 is 30, 24. Now when you come to 28 times 22, just add 1 to 2 to make it a 3 and multiply that 3 by the remaining 2. 3 times 2 gives us 6. And once we have 6, that's the beginning of our answer. The ending of our answer, simply multiply 8 times 2 to get 16. And so you'll see that the result of 28 by 22 is 616. And when you know this method here very well, you will really know that you can rattle all numbers between 10 and 100, so long as they are left same, right adding to 10, you will do them all mentally. Let's try it at your home. Say you have 47 and multiply that by 43. Can I see 2021 at a glance? How have I seen 2021 at a glance? It's because I noticed that there were numbers whose left is the same and the right added to 10. So I just added 1 to one of the fours to make it a 5, and then multiply that 5 by the remaining 4 to get 20. And that was the beginning of my answer. And the ending of my answer, I just multiplied the ones digits, 7 times 3, to get 21. And this answer is 21. You don't struggle with mathematics. You play with mathematics. Numbers are friends. They are not enemies. Suppose somebody shows me a 52 and a 58. A 52 and a 58 to multiply. And he's asking me what the answer is. And I check, there are numbers whose left is same and the right adds to 10. What do? Add 1 to one of the 5s, make it a 6, multiply by the remaining 5 is 30, the beginning of my answer. So I put 30 here, and the ending of my answer, I just multiply 2 times 8 to get 16. So 58 by 52 is 3016. And I taught this one to primarians as low as grade 3. How many children just shout out the answers? They look at it, provided that they know their tables very well, from 1 times 1, 2 times 3, 8 times 4. So long as they know those tables, these children rattle this thing like wizards. And they pass through these numbers like hot knife passing through butter. Parents, wouldn't you like your child to be that sharp? You children, wouldn't you like to be that sharp, ahead of your teacher all the time, if you are doing your mathematics? So let us do 1 or 2 more examples, and then I make these numbers mathematical problems. If I have 85, no, let's say 81, and I have to multiply that by 89. I'm multiplying 81 by 89. I quickly check those numbers, and I see that the left is the same, the right adds to 10. So what do I say? I simply add 1 to one of the 8s. Now, when I do that, then I multiply that by the remaining 8. So 9 times 8 would give me 72. So while that is 72, that's the beginning of my answer. The ending of my answer will be 9 times 1, which is 9. But I want to caution you that on the right, when you find only one digit, always state it as 0 something. This usually happens when 1 and 9 meet. 1 times 9 is 9. So you state your answer as 0, 9. So I want to request my viewers, there are some people who don't come here to learn. Instead, they just keep waiting to see when I will make a small mistake, and then I have messages bombarded onto me. That was wrong. That was wrong. The question you should ask yourself is the concept wrong? Because I keep admitting here always that I could make a computing error, but never a concept error. So, since the concept is right, it is up to you to just correct from your home where you think I went wrong. Suppose there was a number like 73, and I was multiplying that by 77. And then for some reason, I said 8 times 7 is 55. And then 3 times 7 is 21. What is the use of you spending your credit sending me messages that you are wrong, you are wrong? Who is never wrong? Yours is to ask, what concept is the teacher telling me? He's telling me that you add 1 to one of the 7s to make it an 8. And then when you get it an 8, you now multiply this 8 by the remaining 7. And the correct multiplication of 8 times 7 is 56. Correct that. Instead of 55, just make it 56. And then once you have made it 56, go back to your calculator and find out whether that is true. Is 73 times 77 5621? Once you find it's 5621, that was a computing error. It's nothing to fight about. Here, I am giving you concepts. While in my line of duty, I could make a miscalculation, I want you to calculate properly. So, if the concept is right, calculate the right thing and move on. In fact, congratulate yourself for having noticed that computing error. The only time you can come back to me is if you have tried the concept and it's not working. That then you can tell me, teacher, I tried what you are saying, it is not working. Then I'll ask you to give me an example, and then you will give me an example, and I'll work it out to see if it's not working. For example, if you put, instead of 81, you put 71 times 89, then that is completely out of the combination I'm talking about. I'm talking about numbers whose left is the same and the right adds to 10. So always listen what I am telling you. And always, if you find a miscalculation, correct it yourself at home. And thank yourself for having noticed a miscalculation. And then say you are sharp in calculating. You're sharper than the teacher. What's wrong with that? All my students are sharper than their own teachers. So, let us now expand this problem. The same concept can be used in bigger problems. Supposing there was some rectangular field. Suppose this rectangular field was 560 meters and the width was 540 meters. It's 560 meters long and 540 meters wide. And suppose somebody is now asking for the area of this piece of land. What is the area of this piece of land? And as I've always said, there are three categories in which our numbers will arrive. The first category is plain numbers. Those ones I've been teaching now. The second category is numbers that end in zeros. And the third category are numbers with decimals. I have always taught that when you find numbers that end in zeros, set aside the zeros, deal only with the plain numbers, and return the zeros. Likewise, when you find numbers with decimals in them, set aside the decimals, deal with the plain numbers, and return the decimals. So, a case in point here, 560 times 540 would be the computation. So, we shall be talking about 560 times 540. 560 times 540 would be a number that ends in zeros. And so I'm saying, ignore the zeros. There are two of them. 560 has one zero, 540 has another zero. Ignore those numbers, the zeros, and just deal with plain number 56 times 54, where you see that there are numbers whose left is the same, the right adds to 10. Therefore, mentally add 1 to 5 to make it 6, and mentally multiply 6 by 5 to get 30. And that's the beginning of your answer. Then multiply the ones digits 6 times 4 to mentally get 24. Once you reach 3024, that is your tentative answer of 56 times 54. Then at this point, remember that there are zeros at the end of these numbers. 560 had one zero and 540 had another zero. Total number of zeros were 2. So return 2 zeros to your answer, the tentative answer, and get your correct answer to be 302,400. And this would be meters squared. And you could do this mentally at lightning speed. Set aside the 2 zeros, multiply 56 by 54, get it 3024, bring back the 2 zeros, and you are at your answer. So, you should not keep struggling with problems that can be done mentally. I want always to equip you. Let us deal with some problem that has decimals in it of the same composition. If they have 0.001 0.38. And you are going to multiply this number by 0.32. Look at this thing here, 0.038 multiplied by 0.32. This is in the category of numbers with decimals. Set aside the decimals and deal only with the plain numbers. 38 times 32. And you look at this number, you find it is the composition of left same, right adding to 10. So quickly add 1 to 3, make it 4, and multiply that 4 by the remaining 3 to get 12. Of course, 4 times 3 is 12. That's the beginning of your answer. And then multiply 8 times 2 to get 16. That is your tentative answer. Then at this point, come and remember that they were not just plain numbers. They were numbers that had decimals in them. 0.038 had 3 decimals, and 0.32 has 2 decimals. Total number of decimals are 5. So put in 1216 5 decimal places, and you should be able to find your answer as 0.01216. And you can see I'm writing only in one line on the board, and that's the line you can write in your brain on the board. You see the answers and you move on. The really thing you need to do in life is to get the solution. This is the solution. While in mathematics we deal with figures that are not tangible, but in real life situations we deal with problems that we must solve. And that's why our mathematics has problems and then solutions. And life problems are problems and they need solutions. So it calls for a mathematics worker to provide a solution. You may work with unseen numbers, but still provide solutions. Or you might work with seen numbers. For example, in the laboratory, somebody is not working with seen numbers, but is picking the hydrogen, taking 2 atoms of it, and then taking 1 of oxygen, and mixing these 2. The solution is water, H2O. So what is important here is the solution. If people want water, are you able to produce the water? If the answer is yes, then you are the person that they are looking for. Likewise in mathematics, are you able to get to the solution of this problem? If the answer is yes, then you are the person they are looking for. So there are so many ways, some so laborious, some so thorny, you don't need to follow them. But for you you choose a path that will bring you to the solution. And that is it. So when I give you these things that you want to call shortcuts, they are not shortcuts. These are solutions, powerful solutions. You get to the answer with no struggle. And therefore, you retain your brain fresh for the next job. You know, the brain also needs relaxation. The brain doesn't need overburdening. And so if you are going to write a full sheet of paper to do this small problem, and by the time you have done 1,000 problems of this nature, you will be almost running crazy. And that's why many students who have been through that laborious system for years, at the end of their schooling, they do not use their knowledge because the brain is already damaged. Some of them may be described as abnormal. Some of them may be described as mad people. Some of them may be described as insane. And yet, the cause is something very small you would have avoided. Instead of burdening your brain with laborious calculations and so on, if there was a way you could do this thing and get the same answer easily, you would not have gotten to these descriptions of being insane, being mad, being abnormal. Yeah? So we want a future of very, very sane people, but also very brilliant people. People will say 0.038 times 0.32. Then you will see a 1216 with 5 decimals in it as 0.01216. That's the way I teach my children. My children have got to be geniuses, and geniuses of now and the future, because our future depends only on our young generation. So if we take care of them, then we are taking care of our future. Otherwise, if we don't, then the future is not bright. So you might be wondering how you can get this knowledge, and this knowledge is not in textbooks. Don't worry. I have written a small book called The Making of a Mathematics Genius. And many parents have secured it, and many parents are very, very happy about the performance of their children at school after reading that book. So The Making of a Mathematics Genius is a book I have written to supply the missing link. There's a big missing link in our mathematics textbooks on how to operate with numbers. How do we add? How do we subtract? How do we divide? How do we multiply? And therefore, that book looks after those. And why is that book so important for you? It is so important for you because there is no mathematics problem that you will solve without computation, without multiplying or dividing or subtracting or adding. You must just know those. And the simpler methods you know, the better. Because every single problem will be asking you to do the 4 operations. And it can easily be done when you understand the relationship between a certain combination of numbers and a certain combination of numbers. Like today I'm talking about the combination whose left is the same and the right adds to 10. If you don't know them, in the tens, these numbers are 11 and 19. They are 12 and 18. They are 13 and 17. They are 14 and 16. And then they are 15 and 15. Then the order reverses again. It goes to 16 and 14, which I've already talked about. In the 20s, they are the 21, 29, 22, 28, 23, 27, 24, 26, and then 25, 25. And this pattern goes on and on until in the 90s, they are the 91, 99, 92, 98, 93, 97, 94, 96, 95, 95. They go on like that. And as you can see, once you have this one method only, you have made a big hole in the tin of multiplication. You are starting to become a genius at a very early age. And these are things that even businessmen can use, they can apply. If you have taken 36 men in the hotel to take some tea, and you are told each cup is going to cost you 34 shillings. How much do you want to pay for the hotel tea? Don't you see 12.24 at a glance? Add 1 to one of the 3's to make it a 4 and multiply by the remaining 3 to make it 12. And on the right, just multiply as usual 6 times 4. If a car is going at a speed of 99 kilometers an hour, how far would it go in 11 hours? So, don't you add 1 to one of the 9's to make it a 10 and multiply by the remaining 9? 90. Then multiply 1 times 9 and get 9. And when it's 1 digit, you say 09. So it will have gone 90.09 kilometers away. Be powerful. Be a proud student of numbers. You will be a proud engineer. You will be a proud laboratory assistant who knows how to mix chemicals very fast. You know how many I need for this to make that. You will be a proud lawyer to know how to keep your clients' accounts. While all subjects may go away, mathematics is not going away. So, if you are thinking that you can drop mathematics, stop it. Forget about politics, that we can drop mathematics and then you just set exams for other subjects. The reality is that you cannot do without mathematics, even if politicians are saying. They are going to go to the petrol station to fill their car. They have filled some 88 liters. Suppose each liter is going for 82 shillings. Do they know how much to pay? Do they know that it is 72.16? Mathematics is there to stay. Don't be deceived that it can be scrapped. Instead, get more knowledge in mathematics. So many parents will keep asking, how do we get this knowledge to equip our children with? And parents, I'm addressing you that this knowledge of computing is found in my small book, The Making of a Mathematics Genius. I've talked about it several times. Many parents have bought it and they're very, very happy. But I'm still talking about it because you who has joined this TV session today may not have heard of it. The Making of a Mathematics Genius. Get that and your child will multiply, will divide, will subtract, and add like a wizard. And then when he gets a problem, he will be just looking at the numbers in the problem and the formula that goes with the problem. And then converts the formula into numbers and signs and crushes it. There's no difficulty there. So, the Making of a Mathematics Genius. Then buy its friend, the mathematics formula. Because there are many mathematics problems that you can never solve if you don't know the formula. And the formula are just characters that you replace with the numbers and crush them. So get the formula book along with that, Making of a Mathematics Genius. And then for the normal whole lesson of mathematics, there are powerful mathematics notes for each class. There is mathematics notes for Form 1, mathematics notes for Form 2, mathematics notes for Form 3, and mathematics notes for Form 4. Get the notes that pertain to your child. And if your child has gone through a school where these notes were not available, and is now in Form 3 or Form 4, I advise get the complete set from Form 1 and give to your child. So your child will be doing very well. And because mathematics is tested in English language, also get to your child the English grammar notes so that your child is good in English to understand the setting of the problem. Because I've been in schools, when children can't speak English, they automatically can't do mathematics. So avoid that for your child. Let your child have the English notes, the grammar English notes. Then, once he has that, if your child is in primary, you can also include the CBC Primary Mathematics Revision. That goes up to grade 9, the whole primary. So get that book also, the CBC Primary Mathematics Revision. Once we have that, then we are all systems to go. We expect results from our children. Now these books, don't look for them in bookshops because they are not there. Instead, call me on telephone number 0721 901 429. I repeat for you the number 0721 901 429, and I'll tell you how quickly you get the books. And it is the same number that school heads can use to call me to talk to the students about mathematics, to demystify what they think mathematics is. Because actually maths is fun. Maths is play and maths is joy. But maths is the blood life of everything and every career that you need to become. So as I leave the studio, pick your phone and call me. Find out how you get those books. My telephone number again, 0721 901 429. Until next weekend, it's bye-bye from Dr. Kundu.
West TV, tazama ilivyo.
Ni BFG na Ali na hii ni ingine mzeya.
Hii poverty ndo crisis.
Hii poverty ndo noma.
Hii poverty ndo fire
yenye kizima ndo inachoma.
Hii poverty ndo crisis.
Na hiyo crisis ndo noma.
Yeah. Life in ghetto imekuwa strict kama rules ya Matiangi. Watoi wako na mashilingi kwa kichwa na pero hata mata ingiangi. Au kukula 3 meals a day imekuwa ironic in a way. Imekuwa ironic kama kipofu kwenda kambia jeshi kuleta fujo ndaone. Imekuwa ironic kama mgonjwa kuangalia picha daktari ndo apone. BFG, ebu weka hii akilini. Ushaikula ugali na stories za tumaini.
Yeah. Si ile Chris nilishanga mama na nituma nini, atileta nyanya 2 spinach na kitunguu 20. Tanjirani amekuja kulizia kama kwa kuku unaweza ika mdalasini. Pesa madimika ka Kiswahili kwa speech ya PLO Lumumba. Jet collection na Mr Price mini alien kani nguo nyokote mtumba. Crisis imekuwa kama mchezo kuigiza. Cheats ziko painted na crime na darkness. Juu kome notice giza. Day and night police na vijana wanakimbiza. Na gather ndo sauti wanapaza. Binti tuldani skata takaza. Si already ashaza. So hii poverty ndo crisis.
Hii poverty ndo noma.
Hii poverty ndo fire
yenye kizima ndo inachoma.
So hii poverty ndo crisis.
Na hii crisis ndo noma. Sijui kama ushai kunywa maji 40. Sijui kama ushai hata breko juko na 240. Maisha ni ngumu, sijui kama umenoti hii. Kwa mfuko hakuna noti, breko noti. Watoi vichwa ngumu wamekuwa noti. The rich utafuta riziki juu ni hoti.
West TV, tazama ilivyo.
Taarifa ya West TV is brought to you by KCB Bank, the official financial partner of the 2025 WRC Safari Rally.
Grand prize won! Win big with the WRC Safari Rally 2025. Revisha and feel the roar!
Na mtazamaji, ni Jumamosi ya tarehe 19 Aprili mwaka huu 2025. Hujambo na karibu kwenye taarifa zetu za West TV, ikiwa ni awamu ya saa 4 asubuhi. Mimi najulikana kama Felix Okubasu, mwelekezo wangu akiwa ni Hiran Mugaisi. Tuanze na taarifa yake Jeremy Omondi kule kaunti ya Busia, ni kwamba serikali za Kenya na Uganda zimetia sahihi mkataba wa maelewano wa ujenzi wa bwawa la maji ya Ngololo katika eneo bunge la Teso Kaskazini. Mradi huu na utakao gharimu shilingi bilioni 18 ukitarajiwa kutoa suluhu ya tatizo la maji katika baadhi ya maeneo ya kaunti ya Busia, Bungoma na maeneo ya taifa la Uganda.
Waziri wa maji Eric Mreithi Muga amesema kutiwa sahihi mkataba huo ni hatua za mwanzo katika kuafikia malengo ya kukabiliana na tatizo la maji nchini, uhaba wa chakula cha kutosha na changamoto za mabadiliko ya tabia ya nchi kupitia mradi huo, akielezea kujitolea kwa Kenya na Uganda kuhakikisha mradi huo unatekelezwa.
It will supply fresh water to the counties of Goma, to the counties of Busia and to the people of Tororo in Uganda. It will irrigate more than 4,000 hectares of land, contributing to our food security, both as a country and as a region, because 47% of that 4,000 hectares will be in Kenya and around 53% will be in Uganda. We are talking about the aquaculture, fisheries. These are departments that will be uplifted by the construction of this dam. This dam is supposed to store approximately 32 million meter cubic of water.
Waziri wa mazingira na maji katika serikali ya taifa la Uganda Beatrice Atim akiongea katika hafla hiyo iliyoandaliwa hapa Busia ameelezea umuhimu wa mshikamano kati ya mataifa haya mawili ili kuhakikisha mradi huu unatekelezwa kwa upesi ili kuwanufaisha wakazi, huku akiwashauri wenyeji kuhakikisha wanazingatia utunzaji wa mazingira.
Africans, one, we are blessed because this is not imported from anywhere else. We have been all these years sleeping on gold. Our people here, the MP said there's no power. We also have sometimes no power on our side. But we are blessed with the water bodies. We are blessed. Huh? So that means that the sleep has now gone away. We are going to start utilizing the God-given natural resources for the benefit of our people.
Ukiupigia upato mradi huu, naibu gavana wa kaunti ya Busia Arthur Odera amezihakikishia serikali hizi mbili ushirikiano wa karibu wa kaunti hii ya Busia katika kuhakikisha mradi huu unafikiwa.
I have been familiar with this project since 2015 when I was a member of parliament. We have talked about this, we have wished for it, we have lobbied for it, and now we can see progress going forward.
Mradi huu unatarajiwa kufadhiliwa na Benki ya Maendeleo ya Afrika yani ADB, Nile Basin Initiative, NEPAD, miongoni mwa mashirika mengine ya maendeleo. Nikiwa katika kaunti ya Busia, naitwa Jeremy Omondi.
Vijana katika kaunti ya Bungoma wamehimizwa kujipanga na kutokubali kutumika visivyo na wanasiasa, haswa msimu wa kutafuta kura, na badala yake kuhusishwa katika miradi ya maendeleo. Anaarifu ni Eric Lumbas.
Mwenyekiti wa vuguvugu la Alternative Voice Ignatius Nyukuri kwenye mkutano na vijana wa eneo bunge la Sirisia amesisitiza kuwa sasa ni wakati wa vijana kujikwamua wenyewe kwa kutoa uhamasisho kwa wenzao kubadili mienendo isiyofaa katika jamii.
Tumesema ya kwamba hii movement itahakikisha ya kwamba ile uongo na utapeli ya wanasiasa hapa Bungoma inakwisha. Wale wanasiasa ambao wanajua kutumia uongo na kutapeli mama zetu na kuambia uongo ili wapate kura, tumewaambia ya kwamba it is now time waanze kuambia watu wetu ukweli ili watu wakubali kwa ukweli ama wakatae kwa ukweli. Hatutaki wale ambao wanatumia uongo. So we want to call upon everybody across Bungoma to join the movement. We mean well, we want to be the voices of the people. We want to be the voices of the voiceless. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa, next week tutakuwa Tongareni, we will be everywhere. So we want to ask each and every other person to join us. And we are saying we are not fighting any political party, we are not fighting any political leader, we are equally not supporting any political party, we are equally not supporting any political leader. We are here for ourselves. We have created a platform where sisi wenyewe tunakaa ndani ili tuweze kufanya mambo yetu ya kisiasa.
Naye msimamizi wa vuguvugu hilo Evans Kakai amesema licha ya kutoka mirengo tofauti, vijana hao wanalenga kushirikiana ili kuhakikisha wanazungumza kwa sauti moja, akisema siasa za mgawanyiko hazistahili humu nchini.
Sisi tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutaongea ile ambayo itafaidi jumuiya ya Bungoma County. Na tunasema ya kwamba kuanzia leo tumezindua rasmi viongozi wa Sirisia sub county ambao wanaenda kurecruit members kwa village. Watu wa Sirisia ndio wa kwanza. Siku ya kwanza tumeanza mkutano yetu ya vijijini na ya sub county ni Sirisia, kwa sababu tunajua Sirisia ni watu wa msimamo. Hawakubali kabisa mambo ya kiongozi wa ODM kutumia Waluya kupata nafasi mingi, alafu rasilimali ikipatikana anapeleka. Sisi tumesema tawe.
Eric Lumbasi, West TV, eneo bunge la Sirisia, kaunti ya Bungoma.
Na mtazamaji, tuangazie kapu la uchumi kule kaunti ya Vihiga. Ni kwamba huenda malilio ya kila mara ya mazingira duni ya kuendeleza biashara hasa katika masoko ya kaunti ya Vihiga yakapata suluhu ya kudumu baada ya gavana wa kaunti Daktari Wilbur Tichilo kutoa hakikisho ya kuweka taa zinazotumia miale ya sola kama hatua ya kupunguza kuzimwa kwa taa hizo kutokana na kuzimwa kwa umeme kaunti hiyo. Gavana Tichilo akizungumza wakati wa mahojiano ya moja kwa moja na wanahabari wa vituo tofauti kutoka eneo la Magharibi, amesema kaunti ya Vihiga inaendeleza mikakati ya kuboresha sekta ya biashara, baadhi ya mikakati ikiwa kuboresha miundo msingi hasa barabara za ndani na nje ya miji ya kaunti hiyo, na hata kutoa mikopo ya riba ya chini ikilinganishwa na mikopo mingine ya biashara kwa wafanyabiashara wa Vihiga.
Kwa kaunti yetu kwa hali ya maisha, lakini kwa upande wa biashara wa kubuni ama kuimarisha biashara, naweza sema tangu nikuje ama tangu nichaguliwe kuwa gavana wa kaunti hii, niimarisha sana upande wa biashara, na niimarisha upande wa biashara kwa njia tofauti tofauti. Kwanza ni kuhakikisha kwamba biashara barabara iko. Wajua sasa kama hakuna barabara tena biashara huwezi kuwa nao, kwa vile lazima watu wawe na mawasiliano. Lakini ile kitu tumefanya ya muhimu sana ni kuhakikisha kwamba yale masoko yetu ambao watu wanafanya biashara tumeishughulikia ili tuweke kwa hali ya kiafya, hali ile ambayo inatakikana ili wanabiashara wafanye kazi yako vizuri. Na kitu ya muhimu ambao tumefanya,
unaweza taja baadhi ya biashara tukidogo labda.
Biashara tuko masoko tuko na masoko yetu makubwa ni soko la Luanda, tumeimarisha hiyo. Tuko na hata soko yetu ya Majengo, soko letu la Chavakale, soko letu la Seremu na Cheptur. Hawa masoko tumeweka kwanza mataa imekuwa kitu ya muhimu sana ili tuimarishe biashara, watu wafanye biashara mpaka masaa ile ya jioni zaidi. So hayo ndiyo ambao tumefanya kwa upande wa biashara. Pia tumekuwa na ile funding ambao tuliweka Vihiga Enterprise Fund, ambao pia pesa tumeweka pale wanabiashara ambao wanataka kukopa pesa kufanya biashara, tumesha weka hiyo fund ambao wanakopa pesa.
Najua kuna maswali mengi. Hii fund ambao
na mtazamaji, tukome hapo kwa sasa, ikiwa zimekatika dakika 14 baada ya saa 4 za asubuhi. Tukutane tena saa 7 mchana. Asante sana mwelekezi wangu Hiran Mugaisi. Mimi ni Felix Okubatsu na kutakia mchana mwema.
Deposit and win a KCB. With 5,000 shillings, open a KCB Gold Savings account and deposit a minimum of 2,500 monthly for a chance to win a grand prize of a piece of land worth 3 million in Vipingo. You only need to deposit 2,500 shillings every month if you have an existing KCB Gold Savings account to participate. Open a KCB Gold Savings account today and continue to deposit to participate. Revisha, now fill the role na KCB. KCB, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply.
West TV, tazama ilivyo.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe, ndio lugha ya taifa. Baba na mama, vijana, kitukuzwe.
Za asubuhi tutakuwa tunauliza kwamba tutakuwa tunamuuliza mwalimu, je, tunasema habari za asubuhi au habari ya asubuhi? lakini kwa sasa wacha mimi nisalie na za asubuhi, ndio pengine nipate njia ya kurekebika iwapo nitakuwa lamba sakafu. Ujambo mtazamaji wa Dawati la Lugha, mtazamaji wa West TV, karibu sana katika kipindi cha Dawati la Lugha. Awamu ya kwanza leo hii najitosa ndani kwa ndani, ila masala yote ni masuala ya fasihi, na kwa fasihi haijalishi tuko wapi. Katika awamu ya pili awamu ya kwanza ingelikuwa lugha na matumizi yake, pale ndipo pana changamoto. Karibu sana Jumamosi hii ya leo, ili tuweze kufana tukufanya wewe mwanafunzi, wewe mfia lugha, na vile vile wewe mtazamaji wa West TV. Leo kama kawaida tuko na mwalimu wetu. Huyu mwalimu nilikuwa namweleza wakati ule, tangu atoke katika shule ya wasichana akaenda kwa shule ya wavulana ya St. Peter's Mumias, atajifunza kwamba msimu wa baridi mambo kwa shule ya wavulana ni tofauti sana shule ya wasichana. Mwalimu, jambo. Naona unapendeza sana. Na je, yani kuna
lazima tuoge. Nilidhani tu na falsafa kwamba vijana wapendi kuoga, lakini si wote.
Kwa vile